understand biological scale, look at the modern blue whale. At 100 feet long and weighing over 200 tons, it is the largest animal to ever exist on Earth. Yet it sustains that immense bulk in relative peace, filtering tiny microscopic krill. Millions of years ago, ecosystems supported a very different kind of giant. In the river systems of ancient North Africa, the 60-foot, 23-ton Spinosaurus hunted as the largest carnivorous dinosaur to ever walk the planet. Out in the oceans, the megalodon represented the absolute peak of predatory design. Inside jaws spanning 9 by 11 feet wide were 276 serrated teeth, operating on a continuous conveyor belt system that replaced them every 48 hours. This chart compares the raw mechanical power of that bite. A human bites down with roughly 1,300 newtons. A great white hits 18,000. The megalodon exceeded 180,000. With that biological hardware, the densest bone offered zero structural resistance. These hyper-predators dominated their environments completely. No other creature could successfully challenge them. They had reached the absolute top of the food chain, entirely immune to the daily pressures that governed lesser animals. For nearly 20 million years, the megalodon patrolled the global oceans as an optimized killing machine with zero biological competition. So if nothing could hunt them and no other creature could fight them, why did every single one of these perfectly calibrated apex predators disappear completely? Total biological dominance creates a trap. The exact physical traits that made these giants invincible in a fight were useless against the actual mechanism that wiped them out. The enormous scale of these predators resulted from specific environmental pressures. Following a principle called Bergmann's rule, animals in cooler ocean waters evolved larger body masses to effectively conserve heat. In other isolated ancient seaways, an abundance of resources and a complete lack of competition simply removed the usual limits on physical size. But pushing biology to these extreme dimensions comes with a severe tax. Being that massive turns simple existence into a continuous engineering problem. Take an ancient marine mammal named Parusetus. Researchers estimate this creature weighed up to 370 tons, making it potentially the heaviest animal to ever live. Existing in the water column at that size creates a severe biomechanical buoyancy issue. To stay submerged without constantly fighting to swim downward, Parusetus had to evolve incredibly thick, ultra-dense bones to act as biological anchors. But that extreme bone density required an immediate counterbalance. The whale simultaneously had to generate massive amounts of lighter muscle and fat just to prevent those heavy bones from dragging it helplessly to the ocean floor. At 370 tons, a basic survival task like hovering in the water stops being a natural reflex. It becomes a highly precarious, constantly shifting mathematical equation. Maintaining these massive, muscle-dense physiques demanded a continuous and massive influx of fuel. This visualization shows exactly what that daily quota looks like. To maintain its 60-foot frame, a single adult megalodon had to consume roughly 2,500 pounds of food every single day. Caloric-wise, that is the equivalent of eating 3,300 cans of tuna, just to stay alive. You cannot meet that mathematical quota by hunting small fish. The energy spent chasing them down would severely exceed the calories gained from the catch. This math forced the megalodon into hyper-specialization. To make the hunt mathematically viable, it had to rely almost entirely on ancient baleen whales as its primary food source. The most terrifying predator in the ocean was completely dependent on a delicate ecological balance. It required an uninterrupted supply of one highly specific type of prey to survive. The bill for that dependency came due when global climate shifted and ocean temperatures dropped. As the waters rapidly cooled, the baleen whales adapted. They migrated away from the coastlines and moved toward the freezing poles. The megalodon was restricted by its own thermal specificities. It biologically required warmer coastal waters, meaning it simply could not follow its only viable food source. The predator was completely physically inflexible. Its immense, heavy bulk meant it lacked the agility required to pivot and start hunting smaller, faster prey. The extinction of these apex predators did not happen in a violent cataclysm. It was a slow, mathematical starvation event, caused entirely by their own biological rigidity. As the giants starved, smaller, highly adaptable competitors arrived on the scene, including the ancestors of the great white shark and ancient killer whales. These smaller creatures had significantly lower caloric requirements. When food grew scarce, that efficiency became a massive evolutionary advantage, allowing them to easily outcompete the dying giants. This is the predator's paradox. The exact physical traits that made the ancient giants untouchable, their overwhelming mass, extreme bite force, and strict thermal requirements, were the exact vulnerabilities that killed them. Looking across the long arc of extinctions, organisms like microscopic rotifers, or creatures like the solitary horseshoe crab, act as the ultimate survivors. They persist simply by adapting to whatever the planet throws at them. Supreme size and power make an animal incredibly fragile on the global board. When the rules of the ecosystem change, survival never favors the biggest. It favors the adaptable.